There is this room with no windows in the dark of my soul, a room that has been barricaded and hidden that I'm unable to peer within. It's been locked away from me, but what it contains has been altering my being. This unseen, festering demon has been feeding off an unseen, festering memory as it rots away that forbidden dungeon, growing black mold and corruption within the foundation of who I am as its runoff leaks through the cracks, tainting the whole dwelling. That prison, it enabled my survival and prevented my mind from completely breaking. But what should have taken my sanity in an instant turned into a journey of dissolution, a process of self-desecration, a progress of suicide and self-extinction. Nothing matters. So I whispered to my torment as I crumbled to ash within that funeral urn. So I whispered to my despair as my will to live slips beneath the surface without concern. So I whispered to injustice as innocence is lost, never to return. How those two words have saved me into perfection. How they've held my affection. Nothing matters, least of all myself. And yet I've been so driven towards madness. I've been in a conflict against two opposing forces, tossed to and fro like a ship whose only hope is to be taken by the waves to the eternal darkness. The one, this terror, it's my shelter and refuge, ingrained within to protect me against being mutilated, to protect me against being dominated, to protect me against those who would steal an innocence that has been desolated. A safeguard against rising too high above, a safeguard against love. The other, the self-hatred, it's my guiding star, ingrained within to lead me towards being mutilated, to lead me towards being dominated, to lead me towards those who would steal an innocence that has been desolated. A shepherd towards my just damnation, a shepherd towards finding pleasure in self-molestation. Nothing matters. And yet, there's more to this story. There's still another page to this miserable tale. But I'm afraid to persevere, afraid to find what is waiting for me in the dark of my soul so near, afraid that what has been hidden will be made known by stripping the veneer. I'm afraid of God's answer in this as I'm so frail. I'm afraid of what His healing will entail. Yet I deeply desire for this abscess to be removed. I deeply desire for my only shelter, refuge, and guiding star to be my God. One way or another, the end of this demon needs to come. I'm lost in confusion. I can't perceive the path ahead as fear is blinding and assaulting. I just know I need to keep writing, yet the words won't come. I just know that maybe it's finally time that I hold a burial for my lost innocence and mourn its short existence, yet I'm reluctant to face the void it left behind that has been denied peace. A void that I evade while grasping and won't release. A void that fights the invasion of the light without surcease. One that will swallow me whole by attrition. One that God will fill if given permission. There have been these words, though. A message that I was not able to fully comprehend in the moment I received it. I surmised they were given to me for another, yet nothing came of it and they faded. I did not realize I needed to replace the void in my death grip with those words. And now, in their returning, I am left in profound reverence. These words, they are words of surpassing hope and beauty, words of freedom and liberty, words of salvation and majesty, words that are too precious to contain in their treasure, words that are a gift beyond measure. God, You've taken the sin upon yourself on the cross, the injustice, the despair, the torment, the desecration, the desolation. You took it all. You even took everything that came out of my darkened soul upon yourself. You took everyone's punishment so we wouldn't have to be crushed by it. We can barely survive our own personal sinful nature, and some do not. Yet you took it all upon yourself. That moment's torture is inconceivable, and you would have done it over again for us, but you fulfilled it all upon the cross as you gave up your spirit. It is finished. You took the old and gave us something new. Those words that you had given me, they were a message that you have been replacing my old lost, flawed, and ruined innocence with a new one I needed not with effort procure. One that is unsullied and pure. one that has been consecrated and sanctified to endure, an innocence that is with you enshrined, an innocence that is with you entwined. The old innocence had always been imperfect and could never withstand. I must grieve as death all those years gone and abandon its ashes to loosen my grip on that void and release it, allowing me to grip onto the new that you had given me to claim the day I chose you over death. With this acceptance, I felt it. I felt these other words, this new message that you have now ingrained within me that subsumes. Words to come against the terror's fetid perfumes. Words to come against the self-hatred that consumes. Words to replace the lie that is but fumes. I am your living sacrifice. I am your living miracle. I matter.